Friends, hello, it's Matthew Street and welcome to my channel. As always, I truly appreciate you being here. And folks, think about this for a minute. How many bands or groups from the 1960s can you name that are still around today playing live and killing it live, sounding as great as ever live, and putting out brand new music, releasing new material in 2022 that's as good as anything they've ever put out? How many can you think? If you have some, please put them below, because I can only think of I only can think of one, and it's the one I'm going to talk about right now, folks. Folks, when I was a young boy, I had the singles, the hit singles by this group, and I loved them. I didn't have a lot of albums. They weren't really kind of an albums group, although they did have albums out, and I do have one vinyl album I'm going to show you that I do have. But they were a singles band, and boy, they had some great singles in that late 60s period. And that group, folks, is the Cowsills. How many of you are aware of the Cowsills? Now, you might be looking at that image right there and going, is that the Partridge Family? No, folks, that's the Cowsills. Although the Partridge Family was formed in the early 70s, and the Cowsills were approached to be in the Partridge Family with that concept, that idea. They were the prototype. The Cowsills were the prototype for the Partridge Family. However, things couldn't be worked out. The management of the Cowsills and their parents and whatnot couldn't work it out. And you can learn all about that stuff on a great documentary that came out a couple of years ago about the Cowsills. And it has a segment where it talks about them getting this close to getting the Partridge Family TV series. But anyway, folks, they were the prototype for that show. And they are a fantastic band. They're from my local area. They were formed in the mid-60s in Newport, Rhode Island. I was born in Providence, Rhode Island. And the family consisted of 7 siblings, 6 brothers and 1 little sister, and a mom and dad. Now, the siblings were named Bill, Bob, Barry, John, Paul, Richard, and Susan Cowsill. Okay? The mom was Barbara, and I think the dad, I don't know what his first name was, but anyway, he wasn't in the group. They had numerous hits, folks, numerous hits. Concerts, sold out concerts, numerous TV appearances, twice on the Ed Sullivan Show and on other talk shows and variety shows. They even hosted their own variety show. Songs like The Rain, The Park, and Other Things. Indian Lake, you may be aware of. Poor Baby, We Can Fly. Love American Style. Remember that TV show in the early 70s? The Cowsills did the TV theme song for Love American Style. Folks, they had about 7 albums on MGM before they broke up in 1972. Now, I only have one I can show you that I have, and it's an original. It's the Cowsills in Concert. Still with a hype sticker on it, believe it or not. They didn't put it on the shrink then, I guess. They put it right on the cardboard. But there's the hype sticker. Here's the back with the songs. And here's, like, you can see some of their albums here. Maybe you have some of these, or you've seen some of these albums on MGM. Here's the MGM inner sleeve, original. That may look familiar to you audiophiles out there. And then here's the vinyl on the original MGM label, Cowsills in Concert. Folks, I love this band. They broke up in 72. I had several of the 45s, and they did reunite on and off throughout the years. They got together briefly for a brief reunion in the late 70s with some of the siblings. And it was like the mid-90s, they reunited again in the 90s. 4 of them did. Bob, Paul, Susan, and John. And they put out a fantastic album called Global. I believe it came out around 1998. What a great little folky power pop album it is, folks. You can stream it if you can't find a hard copy. I've been trying, and it's very hard. And if you find one, they're usually very expensive. Global by the Cowsills from the mid-90s. Absolutely great. Stream it if you can. Find it on YouTube. Find it on Spotify. You'll love it. I'm still searching for it. So if anyone has a copy you want to let go, let Matt Street know. Anyway, folks, why I'm so excited about the Cowsills was about 3 years ago, they were scheduling a concert in my area in Natick, Massachusetts. And I wanted to go. Well, you know what happened. Delay, 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 delay. Finally, December 17th, this past Saturday, Mrs. Street and I had a little early Christmas present together. We went out for a nice, quiet dinner, and then we went to see the Cowsills Family Christmas Show. Wow, Natick, Massachusetts. Folks, I was blown away. I was stunned how good this band still is. I could not believe. Now, there's only 3 of them still with the Cowsills. 4 of the 7 siblings are still alive. 3 of them have sadly passed away. Bill, Barry, and Richard have passed away. Of course, their mom and dad passed away many years ago. But Bob, Paul, Susan, and John are still alive. The group that did Global back in the 90s album. But John is now the full-time drummer for the Beach Boys, so he's no longer with them. I'm sure he pops in now and again. But the core group of Bob, Paul, and Susan Cowsill came to Natick, Mass on the 17th, played this show. Folks, unbelievably, come out, did a Christmas opening, then they right into their hit songs, and they did some great covers from the 60s, which fit them to a T. Then they had a middle segment of Christmas music, and then they followed up again at the end with more great covers and originals and hit songs. And then they met the fans afterwards, came out, met everybody, signed autographs, folks, absolutely. But the best thing, folks, was the instrumentation, the crackerjack band that they are and have with them. Their vocals were spot on. I could not believe the lead vocals, and I could not believe the background vocals, how El Perfecto they were. What was cool, it was a family affair. You had Susan, Bob, and Paul. Then you had one of Paul's sons on guitar and background vocals. You had one of Bob's sons on keyboards and background vocals. You had Susan Cowsill's husband on drums, and a close family friend of theirs on the bass guitar. Absolutely beautiful, folks. Absolutely beautiful. It was one of the best shows I've seen in a long, long time. So if you get a chance to see the Cowsills anywhere, go. So anyway, I want to talk about something else, though. First, let me show you the picture they signed for me. Susan smudged her name a little bit. That's okay, because she signed something else for me, but I don't care. Susan, right there. There's Susan as a little kid. And then you got Paul over here, and then Bob Cowsill signed up there for me. Yeah, there you go. So there's a nice picture the Cowsills gave to me and signed for me. But folks, the greatest thing is, in September of this year, 2022, they put out one of the best albums of 2022, in my opinion. You need to check this out. It is called Rhythm of the World by the Cowsills. And again, it's Bob Cowsill, Paul Cowsill, and Susan Cowsill, with a great backing band of, I said, like family members. Susan's husband on drums, and there's a nice inner picture of the gang, the CD, and they signed the back for me, which is very nice of them. I wouldn't have minded if they signed the front, but they signed the back for me, Bob, Paul, and Susan. And here's a little nice booklet you get. Get some nice lyrics. Folks, more lyrics. Great little inner area here. We can see some nice pictures. And another picture. There they are there. And some credits. And there's the CD in completion there. Folks, this is a fabulous, fabulous album. I can't believe how good this is. Just came out. It could be their best album ever. I'm serious. You're talking, you got some great roots rock and roll on this. You got some great power pop on this. Folky, so a little bit of folk mixed in, some ballads on here. You got, and what's cool though is you take all that, but they gave it a modern twist, a modern spin on it. So it doesn't. It's retro, but it sounds modern. I don't know if that makes sense. How can something be retro and but it is. It is. It's the Cowsills, pure and simple, but it's modern today Cowsills, 2022, and they're fabulous, folks. So, folks, please, you know what I'm going to do right now? I think I'm going to edit this video. I took a brief 2-minute clip of them singing one of their big hit songs, and I'm going to attach it to this right at the end. I want you to hear how great they sounded the other night. Now, the visual isn't the greatest. I was using a phone. My phone is kind of like it doesn't focus in right all the time. But the colors should be bright and vibrant, but it's the sound. I want you to listen to their voices and how great Bob, Paul, and Susan sound, folks. The Cowsills, folks. You're going to enjoy this little clip. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Please go out and get Rhythm of the World. You're going to love it. It's a fabulous, fabulous album. Thanks, folks. And you know what? Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Everybody say hello, hello, hello. Hello, how do you do tonight? We walk through the park alone. And I do. She could make me happy, happy. She could make me very down to the
What do you know? Silly me. Oh, anyway, folks, how did you enjoy that? Wasn't that a great little clip of the Cowsills? Susan, Bob, and Paul Cowsill, with family members backing them up and good friends. Great to see them. Folks, what a great show. What a great group. Still doing it after 50 plus years with a brand new album that's one of their best ever, if not their best, in my opinion. Rhythm of the World by the Cowsills. Please check it out and let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion about it. Take care. Bye-bye.